welcome to the Cluttered Corner for another fun time, because today Matt Hillyer is here.
Yeah.
Hi.
Glad to be back.
Yeah.
Back in the corner.
How's
it's
it feel?
more cluttered, I would imagine. Of course, it's taking on like a lot. You know, this is a really organic thing.
It is, isn't it? Isn't it crazy? And of
Yeah.
course, your toothbrush is still here. So
And
yeah,
I appreciate you pointing out the fact that it creeps everybody out.
it does. Everybody's worried that you're not brushing your teeth.
I am brushing my teeth. I was brushing my teeth that day. I just happened to have an extra travel toothbrush.
And that's your
And I
story.
guess it is kind of creepy.
It is kind of a little bit.
Like nobody wants to touch it. They're like, why a toothbrush?
Well, and actually the response has been, oh, that sounds like Matt.
Yeah. No. I mean, like, I have an innate ability to creep people out one way or the next.
So there it is. There you go. Okay, well, we got a lot to talk about.
Yeah, you bet.
You have so many things going on, and an article recently talked about how you said that you want to play music till you die.
Yeah.
And that the way to do that is to be always changing and looking for new avenues for your music.
Yeah.
And a great example of that is, obviously, you've been with 1100 Springs
Yeah.
for many years.
Yeah.
And there's Matt the Cat Trio.
Yeah.
And now there's a solo project.
Yeah. Well, with the solo project, it's like this, and then we obviously weren't exactly sure how to handle that, because we figured if I released my own record, that the natural thing is people were like, well, why are you releasing your own record?
Yeah.
Y'all guys breaking up or
Right.
whatever? And then people are going to start talking, and it's like, well, first of all, I figured if people are talking at all, then that's fine.
Yeah.
That's okay. No big deal. But no, we're not breaking up, and it's just the kind of thing where I think that the calendar dates for 1100 Springs probably slow down some, just because the guys, not only because I want to do this solo record, but the guys want to do some other things too. And we've been, as you know, we've been hitting the road hard for a long time.
Yeah.
And not that we won't continue to do that, it's just probably not as much. So in the meantime, since I don't really have any employable skills,
Yeah.
I don't really have other things I can do to make money. In all seriousness, it's just kind of something that I've always kind of wanted to do. And with the batch of songs that came out, it really kind of felt like these were songs that were personal to me. They weren't the same brand of, it's the same type of music. It's not like you listen to it and go, oh wow, you really made this huge departure.
Yeah, no, it's not at all.
No, it's country music.
Yeah.
It's traditional country music, the way that I write songs, but I feel like the subject matter of the tunes, when listening to them as they were being written, they felt more personal to me. Something I was trying to say, apart from just like the standard honky-tonk, beer drinking, party, good time and thing.
Yeah.
There were other things that I was trying to get across that maybe weren't necessarily the type of songs, the subject matter that I would throw to 1100 Springs.
Yeah.
So,
Well, and you think that has a little bit also to do with age?
it does, but it also had to do with what was, yeah, probably. Wow. I'm getting one.
I don't mean you're
Slow
old.
down.
I don't mean you're old.
Yeah.
I mean, we mature.
I'm not as old as Steve Helms. Ouch. Snap.
I love it. I can't wait for us to hear this.
You're right. Sorry, Steve. I love you.
No, he's not.
No. No, I'm not
but
as
seriously,
old. Yeah.
Right. But we mature. Our lives change.
Yeah.
We grow up with our kids. And
Yeah, there's
other
a lot
stuff.
of that. A lot of it had to do with most of the songs, and I don't want to get all depressing with it, but most of it was cathartic in the sense that I lost a couple people in my life a couple years ago, and it really was just, songwriting is always therapeutic every single time, but sometimes when you really have something to say, that's, you can turn to it, and that's it's an actual real outlet for something that's going on. So a lot of that has to do with that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's and that's one of the main reasons I say it's kind of independent of something I was just trying to say with 1100 Springs.
Yeah.
So it's been really cool in that way. And then the response that I've been getting to the tunes Even the ones, there's one song on there that's really kind of different because it's just a talking. It's one of these talking songs. And I thought, golly, man, I don't know if I really want to do this because it's so cheesy in a way, but people have been digging it a whole lot.
Yeah.
So the response has been really, really strong to it. So I'm excited, one way or the next. I could sit here and wax fantastic about my songs because they're like my kids, and all songwriters have that, and they wear people out talking about songwriting. What a big deal it is. We're changing the world.
You mean you're not?
I don't know.
Oh.
I just hope people like it. I hope people, I hope it says something to them in the way that it says something to me. That's all.
Well, the title of the album is If These Old Bones Could Talk, right?
Yeah.
And when you open up the CD, there are bones, as in dominoes.
Yeah.
What's the story of If These Old Bones Could Talk is deeper than dominoes, but it's not.
It is.
Can you explain that?
Yeah, it is and it isn't. Like my grandfather passed away whenever my mom was 16,
Okay.
and so I never met him at all. There was a grandfather figure in my life, a guy that I call my grandfather, and he was as much a grandfather as he could have been. But my real grandfather, I never had anything from him. I never met him. I never, but along about the time I was probably in my 20s, and I started, drinking beer and playing dominoes and stuff. My grandmother kind of got hip to the fact that I always play dominoes. She says, "Well, you should have Bobby's dominoes. They're just sitting around." I'm like, "Well, you tell me now, Yeah, so I have them, and I always had them, and I always really kind of cherished them and sort of wondered what the story was with them and just thought that they were really cool.
Yeah.
In my own cluttered corner in my office, I have a couple of boxes of dominoes that sit there, and I really cherish them a whole lot. And I always wondered what kind of stories they heard, what kind of situations back then. And when we went to Mexico last year, I had that idea. I had been kicking it around for a while, but Max Stalling and I were hanging out one day, and I said, "Well, we should get together and write this." And I got a call in my hotel room one afternoon from Max and Mark Manders saying, "Hey, we're up here. Why don't you come bring your guitar?" And I said, "Oh, okay, I guess." I must. And then Dave Perez got in on it, and I'm really proud of that song a whole lot, just because, I don't do a lot of co-writes,
Yeah.
And to put that many people into it, 4 people, 4 voices like that, and just the afternoon that we had coming up with toying with the idea and what came out, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful memory, and I think it's a good song.
Yeah, no doubt. And those particular 4 people,
yeah.
You guys, that was a nice group of people to be hanging out with and writing.
Right, and I wouldn't, I wouldn't, there's a lot of things, obviously, that I wouldn't have said that those guys really threw into the ring. And they're some of my favorite guys, period.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They're really great friends over the years, and certainly some of I think the best songwriters that are out there. And that's why I just cherish it so much. It's just a little snapshot to say, hey, we all collaborated. You can hear everybody's voice in there.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, okay, so it's out now. It's called If These Old Bones Could Talk, and where can you get it?
You can get it at matthilliermusic.com. You can get it on iTunes. There's links to get it all over the place. There's also links to follow me on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook. And as you know, I tend to get ridiculous, especially on Twitter.
It's the best. Follow him. It's hilarious.
Well, I feel like I backed off it a little
You
bit.
have. I was wondering where you went.
Yeah, I know. I need to get back into it. I keep saying that.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, I have a random ridiculous thought, and I'll post it.
But and that keeps people coming back for more.
Well, that's why I need to keep doing it more and more and more. You know what it was? And I hesitate to say this.
Yeah.
I got unfollowed by Ray Wally Hubbard.
What?
Yeah. And then I was like, oh, man, I need to mellow out. I need to take it easy. 'Cause if I want to be cool, I can't be as ridiculous.
Maybe it was a mistake. Maybe Ray
Yeah.
Wiley didn't know what he was doing.
Yeah.
That can't even be right.
if he ever hears this, he'll be like, "What are you doing?
Why are you bringing me into this?
Right, exactly.
Wait, I said it way too fast.
Yeah,
Why are you bringing me into this, man?
Yeah, right. Yeah, I don't know why. No. Anyway.
Well, thank you for coming back to the corner.
I'm glad to be here.
So good to see you.
Yeah, it's always good to catch up. We've been knowing
That's
each other a long time.
I know. Let's not go half long.
Yeah.
If these old bones could talk, they'd say we came from Waco, Texas. And though the players may be different, the game remains the same.